Hello and welcome. It's kind of late, in all honesty, but it's still before midnight. I am. No, today's been okay. I've done a little bit of work for editing, putting stuff together, you know. Was pretty happy with what the scale said this morning as well, because, like a fool, I weigh myself every single morning. It's definitely not something that I recommend everyone do, or indeed anyone, because I know that it can lead to not great feelings when there isn't motion or when for some reason you've just knocked back up again. But yeah, no, I'm if I have my little set routine on a morning and I don't skip it, then I stick to it. So that's get up, use the bathroom, weigh myself, B12, vitamin D, because, everyone's stuck inside. We should probably be taking vitamin D tablet. And then glass of water, maybe some breakfast or lunch. I don't know, like the normal day sort of thing. Oi! There's Batman. And Dexter's pacing behind me. Yes, Dexter, I know. I know. It's terrible. But, you will keep fighting him. We've got photographs of them sitting together, like literally sleeping together with paws around each other and everything. Like, absolutely perfectly fine with each other, but they still get a little bit rough when they're playing. And for all that, that's how things keep going, Dexter's the one that instigates and also is still coming out of it as the loser. Dearie me. Anyway, right, so whole foods, plant-based stuff. Today's been fine. I have eaten perfectly fine as well. Here's lunch and breakfast and dinner and snacks and all sorts of things like that. There you go. And a fun little thing that I did today, because we had some bananas that got frozen a little while ago. I made nice cream for the first time ever. I did a sort of half successful attempt a little while ago. When I first started, I took blueberries, raspberries, cocoa powder, and cayenne pepper. The Penn Jillette dessert mix. Blended it all together and froze it. And it kind of turned out like a sorbet. It wasn't particularly scoopable. It wasn't particularly great. Mainly because I didn't really know what I was doing. Today, basically, Saguta said, look, I've got a bunch of bananas. She can only use about 3 for making a cake. So I get the other 3 bananas. And also there's this pack of bananas that's been in the freezer for ages. Am I going to use them? Well, I thought, okay, let's see how to make nice cream. It's starting to get a little bit warmer. She's got plenty of ice cream that she bought for herself. I'll have a look. So I found Jessica Croc's recipe. I followed it and made a bunch of chocolate and ice cream. And then because I didn't have any more oat milk, the recipe calls for almond. I didn't have almond. I used oat. And I didn't have much of that, so, it wasn't a particularly large portion. But then the rest of it, I splashed rum in. Now, that is entirely an experiment. It wasn't even enough rum to fill a shot glass. It was about what you would splash in to deglaze a pan or something. The idea is that it'll come out as a rum flavour. more than anything else. You know, like sort of like a rum chocolate or like rum and raisin chocolate bar. Something like that. I didn't have raisins to put in. I don't have any dates or anything, so like, well, oh wait, do I have dates? Oh, I've got a bag of dates in the pantry. Oh, well, never mind. Now I know. Calm down, you two. Honestly. So I did that. The first one, just the plain one, I did break up some of a hazelnut vegan chocolate bar in. It was like whole hazelnuts and a couple of little squares of chocolate. It wasn't much. It was like half a bar. Oi! Where's my spray bottle? It's not anywhere nearby. Typical. Anyway, so made those. Lunch. Oh, lunch. Tell you what, lunch. Lunch was an interesting one. So there's this thing that I've seen done and sort of partaken of on occasion, which is you're not particularly sure what you want to eat for food, like for a meal, for lunch, for dinner, anything like that, and you're not massively hungry for anything, but you know what the base is gonna be, and you don't know what you're gonna put with that. So I had a bag of roasted vegetables that I cooked the other day. Potatoes, broccoli, cauliflower, carrot, like roasted veg. And it was about a portion. And I didn't really know what to put with it, because it was enough for like a portion, but like with something else, not like, eat it on its own. So I was like thinking of what to do, and I thought about, I don't know why I even remembered it. I thought about a steak. I was like, oh, hey, this would be really good as like, side for a steak. Like a roast dinner sort of thing. And then I thought a little bit more, and I kind of realised I'd watched Brian and Jessica's pantry challenge. And Brian did this thing with black beans, corn, and oat flour, where he made like a big patty sort of thing, and made these patties and served them up. Oh my word, are you all right? The cat has just failed to climb. Anyway, so he made these patties. Now, I had those ingredients. I had a can of black beans, I had a can of corn that I could like split into two, and I didn't have oat flour, I didn't have any oat flour, but I did have wholemeal flour. I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe I can do something with that. So I blended that. Got a lot of use out of the blender today. And basically just like put in some spices that it called for, a little bit of lime juice and stuff like that. And the amount that I made, I didn't really know how to judge it. So I split it in two. And I took one half and dumped it into a pan and like sort of like smoothed it out and sort of shaped it roughly. And after a little bit, flipped it. After another little bit, flipped it again, etc. And it came out as just a giant steak sort of shaped thing. It looked incredible the way that it cooked. Like even Saguta said, wow, that looks really good. Not necessarily like appetizing, she thought, but like it looked pretty good. So, I put that together, had that with the vegetables. There was a little bit too much corn left over to fit into one of the pots, so I put a little bit of corn along with everything as well. So I've now eaten like 3/4 of a can of corn for my lunch. put on a little bit of mustard, and as I was just about to sort of like say, right, okay, yeah, that's done, Sigurd said, that actually does look really appetizing. I think if you had something to disguise it a little bit, like a mushroom sauce, that would be amazing. And I remembered that we had some leftover mushrooms from a few days ago, leftover that we used to make pizzas with. Before I went Whole Foods plant-based again, like we made pizzas from scratch. And it's only like 4 halves of a mushroom or something. So I threw that in the still hot pan, turned the burner back on, and basically just like cooked it up, like sauteed it really quickly, bit of water in, bit of some Worcester sauce and stuff like that, just give it a little bit extra colour, really high heat, just cook the heck out of it, and then dump that on top of the steak. And that's what my lunch was. This is ridiculous. This is way more food than I actually planned on making. And funnily enough, I did actually eat all of it. It was a little bit, sort of onerous towards the end with the texture of the steak. But I think now that I know, the mixture that I've got left, if I split that down into 2, that's 2 little steaks that can go along with, roasted potatoes and whatever, and I've got plenty of potatoes to go. So I can have steak and potatoes as well as other vegetable mix that I've got, which is, not bad. Like, I've been doing pretty good on the random experimentation stuff recently. I think just because I've gotten over myself and I'm back into it. My healthspan solution book actually arrived as well. I haven't cracked that open yet. I really need to. I'm probably going to read that probably tomorrow because it is quite late at the moment. But yeah, like should be pretty good. I'm looking forward to reading it. I know that Brian and Jessica are doing their Q&A with Ray and Juliana. I'm quite looking forward to that. I submitted a question for it. Don't know whether it's going to get in, but I did. I know that there's been a lot of questions submitted, and hopefully they've narrowed everything down. So we'll see how that all comes out. Anything else? No, not really. I think tomorrow is just going to be steady away sort of day. It's what is it? It's a Saturday? A Sunday? Yeah, tomorrow's Sunday, so it's going to be a nice lazy day indoors. We are going to get up early and go outside for a walk, I think, with Ron. We might go down the side of the river again, down the fenced off little bit. So yeah, that should be pretty cool. That should be quite nice. And yeah, I don't know. I might try my nice cream tomorrow as well. I did have like a little bit off the tip of my finger that like where it splashed because I'm not exactly a clean cook when I put stuff together, and it's still a little bit banana-y at the time. I don't know whether or not I don't know whether that's gonna go, but like it's not very banana-y. I think it's just like the stick blender that I was using struggled a little bit because I don't have proper upright one. I need to get one. Jessica suggested getting a Nutrimix or Vitamix. What's it called? Vitamix? Might be something like that. But yeah, like maybe sometime very soon. I don't know. Right. Okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you very much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. With another check-in, probably a one back in the kitchen, so you don't have to see this see this piece of broken wallpaper. Yeah, cool. Have a good one. Bye bye.